And then I'm going to go over the ones that were a little bit tricky for you for addition. So 8 plus 8 is 16, and 8 plus 7 is 1 less because 8 and 7 are 1 less from each other. So 8 plus 8 is 16, 8 plus 7 is 15. And then plus 12, plus 13, and plus 14, I think were a little bit confusing to you. So I wanted to give you my strategy of how I figure out what those are. So if I have 12 plus 7, I'm basically going to take my 12 and I'm going to split it into a 10 and a 2. So then I say 10 plus 7 is 17. Then I add in my 2 on the back. It's 19. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So 12 plus 9, I would do 10 plus 9 is 19, plus 2 is 21. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So for homework, you're going to do these problems. So you can pause. As soon as I'm done writing, you can write them down and do them on your paper. And then I'm not going to give you that many to do. And then, so that's a strategy for plus 12. Plus 13, you're going to do kind of the same thing. But instead of adding 3 at the back, you're going to add 2 at the back where we did here, you're going to add 3. So we're basically splitting this into a 10 and a 3. So I'm going to go 10 plus 6 is 16. And then I'm going to add the 3 onto the back, 17, 18, 19. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so you're going to do 13 plus 8, 13 plus 9, 13 plus 5, and 13 plus 3 using that technique. See how it works out for you. And then 14, we're going to do the same thing, but for 14, I'm going to split it into basically a 10, a 2, and a 2. So I'm going to go 10 plus 5 is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Does that make sense? Okay. So then for homework, you're going to do 14 plus 9, 14 plus 6, 14 plus 8, and 14 plus 5. Then we're going to start expanded form and standard form. So I had asked you about it. You said you weren't sure what that was yet. So there are 3 ways to express our numbers besides just writing it out like this. So this number is 863. This is called standard form. That's just plain old how we write numbers. So but they call it standard form. Expanded form is when you take each of these and you expand it out to what it's worth. So what is the 8 worth? It's worth 800. What is the 6 worth? It's worth 60. And the 3 is worth 3. So this one is called expanded form. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first way to do it, second way to do it. The third way to do it is when we write it out in numbers. So that's where you would write 863. So that's called word form. Those are the 3 ways that we express numbers is what it's called. Okay, now I'm going to teach you some multiplication. So the first thing we're going to learn is what do I do when something is times 0? So what multiplication means is they're asking you, what happens if you have 0 groups of 8? So you have 0 groups of 8. That's this. Here it is right here. Nothing. There's nothing in here, right? If I had times 1, that means 1 group of 8. So what I would do is I would make a group and I would put 8 digits in there, or 8 marbles, or 8 anything. So how many groups of 8 do I have? 1. And that's worth how much?
Well, 8.
Yeah.
Right?
So instead of having to do these circles and fill stuff in, we learn the strategy anything times 0 equals 0. So if I had 10 times 0, that means 0 groups of 10. That would be what? 0. Easy, right?
Yeah.
How about this one? 10 times 1. Instead of having to do 10 dots, I can just say, oh, wait, I know. Anything times 1 equals itself. So whatever I'm multiplying by 1, that's my answer. 10 times 1 equals itself. Just 10. Because it means one group of 10. Does that make sense? So you and your brother and your sister made one group of 11 cookies. 11 times one group. How many cookies did you make? 11.
Yeah.
Okay, so for homework, you're going to do these easy ones. It's going to be 10 times 0, 5 times 0, 7 times 0, and then we're going to do 8 times 1, 7 times 1, and 4 times 1. So those are pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on to the next strategy. The next strategy is times 2. So times 2 means you have two groups of something. So 4 times 2 means you have 2 groups, and each one of the groups has 4 marbles in it. How many marbles do you have? It's the same as 4 plus 4. So we could see it as the same exact thing. It basically means 2 groups of 4, which is 8. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
So here we go. 3 times 2 equals what, Stella?
3 times 2 equals 6.
Good. 6 times 2.
6 times 2, that equals 4.
So it's 2 groups of 6.
Wait, 6 times 2? Oh, I thought you meant 2 times 2. 6 times 2, that equals 12.
Yeah, it's the same as 6 plus 6. 2 groups of 6. You can look at it any of those ways. It's the same exact thing. All right, 7 times 2.
7 times 2, that would equal 14.
Yep, 8 times 2, same as 8 plus 8. 16. And then 9 times 2 is the same as 9 plus 9.
Yeah, it's 18.
Good. Okay, now I'm going to go to advanced step. This is just a fun trick. So here it is. Times 3. That means now you have 3 groups of something. So if I did 4 times 3, it's like 4, 4, and 4. So we could just go 4 plus 4 plus 4. Or we could just count by 4s. That's easy, right? 4, 8, 12. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4 more is 12. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. What about 3 times 3? What do you think 3 times 3 is?
3 times 3, hold on, give me a second. 9?
Yeah. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 more is 9. So you're going to try those ones. And then 5 times 3, 5 plus 5 plus 5.
Yeah.
6 times 3 starts to get a little trickier. 6 plus 6 plus 6.
Yes. Oh, 6 plus 6 plus 6. Am I supposed to do these right now?
Sure.
Or can I do them later?
Yep, you can do them now. So
6 plus 6 18.
Yep, 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. And then this one is 7 plus 7 is 14. We have to add one more group of 7. So what is 14 plus 7?
14 plus 7, that would equal 21.
Yeah, so that's the answer. So that's as far as we're going to go today. That is